Well, folks, it seems even the giants of the telecom world aren't immune to the occasional stumble. In fact, when they do stumble, it can feel like the entire nation is tripping over its own feet. On date of outage, Verizon, the company that boasts about its network being America's most reliable, experienced a nationwide outage. This wasn't just a minor hiccup, it was a significant disruption that left many questioning the reliability of their service provider. Millions of users were left stranded without access to their precious data, calls, and yes, even those cat videos we all pretend not to watch. The outage affected not just personal communications but also businesses and emergency services, highlighting our dependence on these networks. Now, we've all been there. That moment of panic when you realize your phone isn't connecting, the spinning wheel of doom mocks your every click, and you're suddenly cut off from the digital world. It's a feeling of isolation and helplessness that can be quite unsettling. But this wasn't just a few dropped calls or a slow internet connection. This was a full-blown outage, affecting users across the country. The scale of the disruption was unprecedented, causing widespread frustration and confusion. From bustling metropolises to quiet suburbs, people were left wondering what went wrong and, more importantly, when they could expect their service to return. The outage served as a wake-up call, reminding us of the fragility of our digital infrastructure. It was a stark reminder that even in our hyper-connected world, technology can fail, and when it does, it can bring our lives to a screeching halt. The incident left many pondering the reliability of their digital lifelines and the importance of having backup plans in place.
Initial reports suggested that the outage was widespread, affecting a significant portion of Verizon's user base. The scale of the disruption was unprecedented, catching many off guard. While the exact number remains unclear, estimates pointed to millions of customers being impacted. This included both individual users and businesses that rely heavily on Verizon's network for their operations. Imagine the chaos. Millions of people suddenly unable to call their loved ones, check their work emails, or, God forbid, update their Facebook status. The disruption extended beyond personal inconvenience, affecting professional and emergency communications as well.
The outage, which began in the early hours of the morning, quickly became apparent as users woke up to find their devices rendered useless. The timing couldn't have been worse, coinciding with the start of the workday for many. Social media was abuzz with complaints, questions, and the inevitable memes that follow any major tech hiccup. Hashtags related to the outage trended within minutes, highlighting the widespread frustration. For many, it was a minor inconvenience, a temporary disruption to their daily routine. They found alternative ways to communicate and continued with their day. But for others, it was a major headache, affecting their ability to work, communicate with family, or access essential services. Businesses faced delays, and families struggled to stay in touch. The outage served as a stark reminder of our reliance on technology and the potential consequences when it fails us. It underscored the need for robust backup systems and the importance of staying connected in our modern world.
The outage wasn't confined to a single region or city. It stretched across the country, impacting major metropolitan areas like New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, and San Francisco. Imagine the collective groan of millions of New Yorkers realizing they couldn't even rely on their phones to hail a cab. Even smaller cities and towns weren't spared, as users from coast to coast reported experiencing connectivity issues. Businesses were forced to halt operations, schools struggled to contact parents, and emergency services faced communication challenges. The widespread nature of the outage highlighted the interconnectedness of our digital infrastructure and the potential for a single point of failure to have cascading effects. As the outage dragged on, all eyes turned to Verizon for answers. Customers were left in the dark, unable to access essential services, and businesses faced disruptions that impacted their operations. The company, facing mounting pressure from customers and the media, scrambled to identify the root cause of the problem and restore service. The CEO made public appearances, trying to calm the storm, but the lack of specifics only added to the anxiety. Initial statements were vague, acknowledging the outage and assuring customers that they were working to resolve it. However, the absence of a clear timeline left many feeling uncertain and uneasy. But as hours turned into an entire morning, the lack of concrete information only fueled frustration and speculation. Social media was abuzz with theories and complaints, amplifying the sense of urgency. Behind the scenes, Verizon's engineers were working feverishly to pinpoint the source of the problem. Teams were deployed across various locations, examining every possible angle. Was it a software glitch, a hardware failure, a cyber attack? The possibilities seemed endless, and each scenario required a different approach to resolve. The possibilities were endless, and each passing moment without a solution added to the pressure. Engineers worked around the clock, knowing that every second counted. Finally, after what felt like an eternity to those affected, Verizon announced that they had identified the issue and were working to implement a fix. Relief washed over customers as services began to come back online, and the team celebrated their hard-earned success.